Hello and welcome back to the podcast. It's episode 240, and Jenny, I've got something today that feels like it's straight out of a sci-fi movie. But it's real, and it's happening right now.
Ooh, you know how I love it when the future arrives on our doorstep. What have you found this time? Is it like tiny robots that clean your house? Or something even better?
Even better, in a deeply important way. We're diving into the world of AI data governance. Specifically, what Confidential.io unveiled at RSAC 2025. Think about all the amazing things AI can do, right? But it needs data, lots of it, often really sensitive data, like medical records or confidential company strategy documents.
Right, and I can already hear our listeners thinking, okay, sensitive data and AI, that sounds like a recipe for a privacy nightmare. We've seen the headlines about leaks and breaches.
Precisely. And RSAC, the big cybersecurity conference, had a really interesting poll this year. Get this. 61% of CISOs, that's Chief Information Security Officers, the folks in charge of keeping company data safe, are primarily concerned about intellectual property leakage when it comes to AI. And 59% are worried about customer data exposure.
Wow, that's a significant chunk of people at the top level stressing about this. So, the current methods of protecting data when AI uses it aren't working as well as they need to, huh?
Not effectively, according to folks like Karim El-Dafraoui, the CTO over at Confidential. He says that the current approach uses what he calls a fractured patchwork of siloed tools. You have one system for data storage, another for processing, another for access control, and they don't talk to each other seamlessly. It's like trying to build a secure fortress with mismatched Lego blocks.
Okay, that analogy makes sense. So if the current system is a shaky Lego fortress, what is Confidential building? Like a unified, reinforced concrete bunker?
They're building something that's embedded. Instead of slapping security on asterisk top times of the AI workflow, they're integrating governance directly times into the frameworks where the AI is actually working with the data. They call it a unified AI data governance solution. The core idea is to prevent those leaks of unstructured data, like documents, emails, transcripts, while still letting the AI do its job.
Okay, embedded governance. That sounds different. How are they achieving that? Is there some sort of magic security dust they sprinkle on the data?
Kind of. But it's cryptography magic, which is way cooler and backed by science. They're using an embedded cryptographic layer. Think of it as applying security properties directly to the data itself, at a really granular level. This ties into a concept called Data-Centric Zero Trust.
Zero trust? I've heard that term bounce around in cybersecurity circles. It generally means never trust, always verify, right? Even if you're inside the network.
Exactly. But Data-Centric Zero Trust takes it a step further. It means the security isn't just about who you are or where you're connecting from, but specifically about what you're trying to do with this specific piece of data. Confidential is applying this by using cryptography throughout the AI pipeline, so the data itself carries its permissions and protections.
So the data is essentially self-aware of whom it's allowed to interact with? That's the sci-fi part you were talking about.
Right? And it's huge for unstructured data. AI models rely heavily on documents, text, audio, stuff that doesn't fit neatly into database tables. Protecting that unstructured data has been a major headache because it's hard to categorize and control effectively with traditional tools.
I can imagine. It's not like you can just put a simple lock on a giant pile of memos and transcripts, and with AI agents potentially going off and doing things autonomously, that seems even more challenging.
Absolutely. This is where the concept of governing agentic AI systems comes in. As AI gets more autonomous, you need a way to make sure that when an AI agent retrieves or processes information, it's doing so within the defined governance rules. Confidential's approach aims to provide that oversight.
So, it's not just about preventing malicious actors, but also preventing the AI itself from unintentionally mishandling sensitive information?
Exactly. It's about enabling secure usage. Karim El-Dafraoui put it well. He said that enterprises are currently forced into trade-offs between locking down data completely and being able to actually use it for AI development. Their solution is designed to let organizations cryptographically prove that sensitive information stays within authorized channels, even during complex processes like RAG, retrieval augmented generation, where the AI pulls in external documents.
That's a key point. It's not just about blocking access, it's about enabling time-safe times access. For industries like pharmaceuticals or finance, where data is incredibly sensitive but also crucial for R&D and analysis, this could be, a significant positive.
Exponentially. The ability to safely use confidential datasets that were previously deemed too risky opens up huge possibilities for innovation. Of course, with any powerful new technology, there are other things to consider. We have to think about how this kind of centralized control might affect things like open science or data sharing down the road.
Right. While it's great for security, we also need to think about transparency and making sure this technology isn't used to create new data silos or restrict legitimate access later on. It's always a balancing act, isn't it?
Completely agree. It's a balance. But for now, the immediate need Confidential is addressing is significant. The fact that RSAC attendees are so focused on data leakage with AI tells you how urgent this is. Their preview at RSAC feels like a step towards the kind of robust infrastructure needed for enterprise-scale AI deployments.
It sounds like they're building the secure plumbing for the next wave of AI. It's fascinating to see how quickly these solutions are evolving to keep pace with AI's capabilities. So, what's next for them after this preview?
According to their roadmap, they're looking to expand integrations beyond the platforms they started with, like Azure ML, to include open-source frameworks. The long-term vision is essentially positioning this as foundational technology for future models like federated learning.
Federated learning, right? Where AI models are trained across multiple decentralized devices or servers holding local data samples, without exchanging the data itself. That makes perfect sense. You need a secure way to ensure the data being used locally is governed, even if it never leaves its original location.
Exactly. So, while we don't have independent audits or detailed pricing yet, this preview of Confidential's unified AI data governance solution at RSAC 2025 looks like a really important development in tackling one of the biggest hurdles to enterprise AI adoption: keeping sensitive data safe.
Definitely something to keep an eye on as they roll it out further and we start to see how it performs in real-world scenarios. Thanks for breaking that down, Mark. It's complex stuff, but incredibly relevant.
Always a pleasure, Jenny. It's exciting to see companies building these foundational pieces for a more secure AI future. Before we go, let's check in with our listeners. We want to hear from you. What do you think is the biggest challenge in balancing data security with accessibility for AI development? Is it the complexity, the cost, or something else? Head over to our website and cast your vote in our weekly poll.
And while you're there, leave us a comment with your thoughts. How do you think AI data governance solutions like this could impact the future of open science and data sharing? We'd love to hear your perspective. It's a big conversation, and we value your input.
Absolutely. Your feedback helps shape these discussions. All right, that's it for this episode. Thanks for tuning in.
We'll catch you next time.